There you go, it's a picture of how it was, I guess. Can't really see too much there, but amazing. So this is old St Margaret's Church, and it is in Hopton-on-Sea, Norfolk in the UK, just across the border from Suffolk. So this church had an early English nave and a square west tower. It's possibly built between 1189 and 1250, with the north aisle being built about 100 years later. Interestingly, the north aisle was built using stone from St Mary's in Newton. That church collapsed into the sea. So the church is described online as being late 13th, 14th century. No exact dates really, as is in any history. Excuse me. What is known is that there has been a church on this site since around 1087, and Norfolk Records Office holds baptism, burial and marriage records from 1673. So the roof of the church was a thatched roof. On Sunday the 8th of January 1865, a stove heater was left on in the church after morning service. The stove overheated and caught fire. Church registers were rescued, but unfortunately not much else. So the church remains as a ruin. And was rebuilt in a different area, still in was actually in Lowestoft. A lot of the gravestones were resited, and this field, obviously there is probably still remains buried in the grounds. Some gravestones are along the side there. So these church ruins deteriorated further between the 50s and the 80s, but in 2008 Hopton Parish Council purchased them for £1, and began a restoration. So this is now a Grade 2 listed building and has been since 1954. The walls were stabilised around 2014, and 2 gargoyle heads were found buried in the wall at the top of the tower. They were gifted to the new church, and the heads are believed to have been dated 11th, 12th century. Could have been reused from the old church or taken from that church where they rescued the stones. So in 2014 an archaeological dig took place, and they found some medieval glass and tiles, and they were also able to have a look at an underground vault. Unfortunately, the future of the ruins is in jeopardy. Repeated vandalism is causing some problems, and the little urchins are digging out lime mortar from between the bricks, and gravestones are being thrown around. In 2019, a motorbike was set on fire within the ruins, and later that year a car. It would be a shame if this little gem of history was closed off to the public, because it's absolutely stunning. Let's go and have a look inside. So it's been sort of made into a recreational area really. There's a little picnic table there. So the grounds are being used. And it's good that we can at the moment still have a little look around. Look at this stonework though. So the history of these places just gives me goosebumps, it really does. There is writing on it, but I can't really make it out. This is awesome. What do we think? Is this the sort of history that we like? Wow. Be still for this sacred ground, a place to stand and pause, reflect upon the pathway here, the lessons learned and the gifts received. Be still and listen to God's voice that sings a song of unity, blessing the journey still to come with love and deep humility. These are gravestones, look. Loving memory of Benjamin Parker, who died October 12, 1910, aged 51 years. There is sweet rest in heaven. And Elizabeth Parker, wife of the above. She died March 19th, I can't read that date, aged 61 years. So the grave of the Sayers family. Bloody marvellous, eh? Love it. Let's go and have a look at some of the gravestones around the outside. So to the memory of Charles, the beloved son of, I can't read the rest, but possibly 1889. Memory, William. Oh, you can read it, I can't. William and Sarah. Sarah died December 1868. 84 years, wow. No, that was William, died at 80 odd years. Also Sarah, and then I can't read that. Rest in peace, guys. Nope. They've been sort of extensively damaged, haven't they? I think they were doing burials here till the 1960s. I don't know if that's read from a different church or this one, but certainly Julia Roberts, who died January 21st, 1915. And then I can't read the rest of that. In loving memory of Sarah, beloved wife of Samuel George, who died 1890. Can't read that one either. Now this one is Admiral James Hanway. Georgina Lady Plumridge, James Hanway Plumridge, and Georgina, his wife. So James Plumridge. So James Plumridge, he was born 13th of March 1787, and he died the 29th of November 1863 at 76 years old. So he was a British naval officer and also the MP for Falmouth between 1841 and 1847. He had quite a few children. He was married 3 times, with Georgina being his last wife. And 2 of his daughters are Lily Frances, who was born 1850 and died in 1858, and Ella, who was born 1852 and passed away in 1858. Both died at a very, very young age. And as far as I'm aware, they are in this graveyard too. But James Hanway Plumridge, so he's a notable figure that's buried in this yard, on this graveyard. I can't read that one. Such a shame, isn't it? Downing. Rest in peace, all of you. Now that's a bit spooky, seeing my own name. Eek. Garden of Remembrance along here. Sweet. Nice. Frederica Elizabeth of Hopton Hall, wife of Colonel Stuart, a cadet of the House of Fort something. Walls could talk, eh? If walls could talk. A Bug and a Bee Premier Inn Hotel. Things you see. Love it. Marianne, beloved wife of Edward Charles Gosling, who died 6th of December 1916, aged 57 years. Rest in peace, it says at the bottom there. See John Hodge, not what else say. Lots of broken headstones there. Can't people leave things alone? Yes, my hands are shaking because it's another cold day. It's about 5 degrees centigrade. so I apologise if you're getting a bit seasick. So this person died 20th of November 1800, aged 21 years. Crikey. Sad. Emma Pembroke, daughter of the late James and Maria Parker. She died February 1st, 1891, aged 40 years. Wow. This place is awesome. Rest in peace, all of you. Colonel Henry Cock and General James Cock. Died 1851, aged 64. And March 7th, 1851, aged 70 years. Well, it is a seaside town, so the obligatory anchor